Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Free to Play. I am recording this just maybe an hour after I recorded the last episode. That episode went quite long because we were rebuilding, or not rebuilding, we were building Allure, and I talked a lot about my clan boss team and the other things that have been going on the account. I just had too much information to fit into one video, so I recorded back to back this time. That being said, if there's any big breaking news or anything important that comes out tomorrow, look for that video to be a non free to play uh, continuity video, but I will release something talking about any of the new updates or anything like that because I am on pins and needles waiting to hear about uh this chick right here for my main account. Like, tell me how to get her. Tell me. Anyways, what is this video about? Well, we rebuilt Allure on the last one. I've made some tweaks, so I got her masteries, which then, of course, puts her at 100% crit rate. I actually tested her immediately after I turned off the camera at 95% crit rate, and it worked fine. So that extra 5% just makes it better. We're also going to do more damage now with Giant Slayer, get us some extra damage. Most of this build was basically taken from Hell Hades, but I had to make one change. Now, they do Master Hexer, which is fine, kind of. She does apply a sleep, so that could help in the wave portion of extending her sleep buff on those champions, but the reality is the sleep buff comes off very quickly. So I went with Spirit Haste. Now, Kale does die most of the time. So if cooldowns don't align correctly when we get to the final boss, I know I have some control over that, but I want to kill the waves efficiently too. If cooldowns don't align when we get to Fire Knight, Kale will die from the first Fire Knight hit. Now he'll get revived relatively quickly from Ursula, so it's not a big deal. But I would like to have extra speed on Allure when that happens. It's actually really, really good because I want her taking as many turns as possible against Clan Boss. So, or not Clan Boss, sorry, Fire Knight. So we did that. I also chose to rebuild my son Wukong. I am very happy with the results. I've taken on 2 tanky teams and crushed. I'm one-shotting Ultimate Death Knights, which is not something I have been able to do in the past. I think, yeah, we'll take on this team. I have some coins. As long as this team isn't super fast, we'll see what we can do. Yeah. Was that a 100k hit? I didn't pay close enough attention, but it looked like it did 100k to somebody. Sometimes those numbers just blur in with each other, right? So hard to tell. But you'll see I took on all the tanky teams here just to see what we could do. You know what? I bet you this is a tanky team. He's probably rocking that's a terrible blessing to have on him. I think he's probably rocking. Oh no, he's not. I thought he would be in Stone Skin. Alright, he's gonna have a lot of HP. Can we kill him? Yep. I really need to slow it down and look at the numbers, but Sun Wukong is putting in work. So you know, I made a whole hour-long video on blessings, and didn't release it because I don't know, I felt like it was too long and nobody would watch it. Let me know if you guys want to watch that, because that blessing... Sorry, one second, guys. This one's going to be a shorter video, so there it is. Because this blessing right here is Ward of the Fallen, which is the bone armor one. I don't really think bone armor is all that great, in my opinion. So, I mean, you're talking about a PvP nuker, right? If we look at those teams again, sorry guys, I'm not all there with my clicks. Like Stultus is a nuker. Word of the Fallen ain't doing it. Um, Same on Mortu Macabre. Mortu Macabre's entire kit is, well, alright, maybe if you are having trouble keeping him alive, if you don't have Stone Skin, but, I mean, that needs to be Soul Reap, in my opinion. You don't, I mean, that's the only one that makes sense, because you don't need Armor Ignore. He ignores 100% of armor, so, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the Bone Armor one, so, I noticed that on several people there. So, anyways, enough about that. This is not a PvP video. This is a PvE video. I just wanted to show you guys the changes that I made, and I'm actually seeing a lot more damage out of my Sun Wukong. And I haven't tested him in the dungeon yet with these changes, so we're about to find that out. So I did test stage 20, unlocked, baby. We got it. We're there. I feel very confident about stage 21. Allure is magic, and she will be a little weak. She does have a chance for weak hits, but it's not enough to make her ineffective. I do have a team set up for this. I'm lazy about it. Why do I say I'm lazy about it? I do not tell them to do anything special for round 1 and 2. None of them. They all do the same stuff on round 1 and 2. However, for round 3, I do try to control some of it. The main thing that you need to do to get value out of Allure, if you got Allure and you're reading that she's so good for clan boss, and you put her in your clan boss team and she's not doing anything, and you're running it on auto, it's because you left these abilities on. You don't want these abilities. Who cares? Don't want them. Don't need them. All you want is Psychic Whip over and over and over and over. Okay? So that's the biggest thing that you need to do. All this other, control here is really not that important, honestly. There is a part of me that says that, okay, maybe I could turn off sweeping Retribution. And that way we get the double hitter, but we're able to do it without that. So I'm not going to go that far into the min-max here. The hardest part about this is the waves. That's why you see Kale come back in instead of Coffin Smasher from my previous attempt. If I had a better wave clearer, I could actually bring Armiger in instead of Kale. Kale's not really doing much against the boss, and Armiger would just give me that extra efficiency getting down or keeping that turn meter down, but we don't need it. This Allure is built very well. She's built very fast. It's basically perfect. I do want to test stage 21. I'm confident that we could probably go through stage 25. The biggest drawback that we're going to be facing is just flat out the waves. And Ray may be the more suitable suggestion, or even Herndig, who I recently pulled. Go back and watch the edit on that video. They would be better options here. Kale is only in here. He does bring a triple hitter, which helps for this initial one here, right? But as you're about to see, it doesn't matter. He still gets the turn. And Kale dies anyways. But that's because Fire Knight starts with a lot of turn meters. So it's just what I'm what I would like to do to speed the run up would bring in more efficiency against there we go. That should be it. There we go. I did stage 20, right? He never got another turn in my other attempt on it. That's a lot of weak hits. That's a lot of weak hits. Alright, we're still doing good. There we go. Okay. Aha! That's what I like to see. Yeah, I did it so cleanly on auto before that it didn't even give me a scare, but this time gave me a little bit of a scare. A couple of things I would like to be able to bring. Decrease speed, increase speed for my team. So Kale is basically the person that would get subbed out of this composition. He's really not there other than his wave killing ability. So if I get a better wave clearer in the future, I would bring them in. I could even consider bringing Geomancer, believe it or not, in that spot because Geomancer has a full turn meter reduction as well. So Cold Heart would be a good replacement there if I get a better wave clearing option over Sun Wukong. And when I say better wave clearing option, Sun Wukong is a good option there. So I'm talking really high end Seer. That's really the only one that comes to mind. Maybe like a really high end PvP nuker, which Sun Wukong is. Maybe I just don't have the gear. So maybe as he gets better geared, he can start soloing those waves. Or somebody that brings in some multi-hitting as well as big nukes. There's a lot of little changes here and there that could be made to the team. So, but regardless, the team works very well. We did get that 1 week hit that gave us a scare. We had to take a hit, but overall, very, very solid performance. I do want to see what it does on stage 21. Stage 21 would theoretically be better for the performance of the team. I want to be clear about that. It's not better in terms of... It's better in terms of gear to an extent, but it's not necessarily better in terms of points during tournaments and events, which is what this is about, right? I mean, obviously, I want good gear too. That is what this is about as well. I want Savage. I want all the good gear. Crit Damage, I think, is another set that's hidden behind him. Yeah, see, there's the sleep, by the way. If I can, actually, I would really like to get Alure a little bit faster than Sun Wukong. I may need to readdress her speed just a little bit. I used enchants on her, but I didn't do too many speed enchants on her. But if I can get her faster than Sun Wukong is now PvP mastered. Meaning that he'll do more damage against sleeping targets. So, theoretically, I can get that sleep off right there, and then get Sun Wukong to have a bigger nuke to potentially get through that wave faster. You'll see this wave is quite tough, even with Sun Wukong being rebuilt for exactly this, which is killing waves. The good news is they're targeting Sun Wukong, so he'll come back for free. I'm not overly worried about it. I do like keeping her sleep on. It does help a little bit with the waves. Just keeping them controlled. There's that new blessing for Sun Wukong coming into play there. But overall, we're able to get through them. I'm more curious about how effective we'll be against the boss now. Yeah, we're able to get through it, but we're just not fast enough. We're going to take that first hit. We survive because this is a better affinity matchup for us. And Alure's going to get some... There we go. Turn meter reduction. We really need to speed it up here. That's a good turn meter reduction there. And there we go. I think we'll be able to take the lead here. As long as... Yeah. This one's a lot closer. You'll see that his turn meter is much, much higher. He does get a turn here. I may just need an extra bit of turn meter control. Yeah. Alure's just a little bit too slow. I think this one she'll probably gain the upper hand. But even then I don't know. This is one where, honestly, Apothecary might really come in handy instead of Ursula at getting that shield down right away. Is he reducing? Is he just that much faster at this difficulty that he's reducing how much she's taking? Like, he's gaining back the turn meter so fast? Because, like, in the previous rounds, she's taken it, like, the whole chunk of the way down. And here... I mean, it doesn't look like it's moving, right? What did he just gain so much turn meter from? There must be something about it, about Fire Knight, that I've missed in all my time doing him, because he jumped in turn meter after Sun Wukong did that attack on the outside. Either way, it worked, but the magic number that we want to be at is stage 20, and we are at that number, so that is where I'm going to be farming moving forward when the time comes. Now, part of, you may be saying, well, why don't you want to hurry up and just start farming stage 20, like, as much as you can? I want to do it. I like to double dip and farm for events, tournaments, clan v clan, that kind of stuff. But I will say that now that Fire Knight is on farm, and not only Dragon being on farm, I think I will farm stage 20 Fire Knight during clan v clan now as my way to spend energy. Because I think I'm gonna have better results out of the gear. The gear in that dungeon is overall better. If we take a look, right? So we have crit damage, great set, great set. Curing has seen some increases in use now. Regeneration is very, very, very important, especially against some of these bosses like Sand Devil. Stun set is huge and will start to become a factor as I progress more and start using these AoE hitters. And then, of course, Savage is absolutely amazing and uh, can be a big factor in PvP and getting more damage there. So, well, that is everything. That's a 20-minute video, so we'll call that. I was hoping to keep it around 15, but really, really happy with everything going on the account. One last thing I wanted to say, too, about my clan boss team that I talked about in the last video. On Brutal, and yes, granted it was Spirit Affinity, but we did we did 1 key Brutal, and I felt more comfortable about the amount of damage that we did. But it is positive affinity, so we may have troubles if we were to hit force affinity with this team. So who knows? But thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.